The story kicks off with Mary welcoming her parents back home. They tease her, asking if she was lonely while they were gone. Mary proudly says no because her friend Rose kept her company. Then, the parents dropped a bomb. They introduce her new sibling, the kid they'll probably love more from now on. Mary is thrilled to have a baby brother, Cheyenne. Cheyenne eventually wakes up, drooling like a champ to meet his sister. Mary plants a kiss on his cheek, and the baby immediately looks like he's reconsidering his entire life. Fast forward a few years, and Mary is celebrating yet another victory over her brother in some physical game. Cheyenne, however, would rather be playing Call of Duty because, let's face it, he's not catching up to Mary's energy anytime soon. When their father Gawain comes home, Mary's excitement levels go through the roof. Cheyenne, meanwhile, is still amazed by how his sister never runs out of steam. Gawain pretends to enjoy Mary's hyperactiveness, while she brags about everyone calling her bright as the sun, thanks to her golden hair. Gawain is proud of his golden child, but Cheyenne sarcastically quips that Mary is also the most dependable, stealing her thunder for a second. Mary loves the praise but knows Cheyenne is the real MVP. He's the one helping their mom, not wetting the bed anymore, unlike her, and sometimes acting like a full-blown adult. She brushes it off but secretly takes comfort in knowing Cheyenne's embarrassing secret. When no one's watching, he likes to pretend he's a badass adventurer. One night, Cheyenne decides to ask their dad the big question: do monsters exist? Gawain, not one to sugarcoat, says, "Yup, they're real." He goes on to warn his kids to never leave the property because monsters attack people on sight. If they ever see one, they should run screaming for help like their lives depend on it. To lighten the mood, Gawain mentions that fairies exist too. He's even seen a few himself, though they're incredibly rare. Spirits? Not so sure, but fairies? Absolutely. Feeling bold, Cheyenne asks another question: what about magic? Gawain looks at him like he just asked for a unicorn. Magic? Nope, doesn't exist. He's never even heard of it. He admits there are things he doesn't know, but magic isn't one of them. Suspicious, Gawain asks where Cheyenne even heard about magic, fairies, and spirits. The kid clams up, saying he's fine, though Mary notices he looks upset. After that, Cheyenne never says the word magic again. 3 years later, Mary is training hard as usual. Cheyenne wonders why she's so dedicated, and her answer is simple: she's the big sister. If monsters or bad guys show up, she wants to be ready to fight them off, while Cheyenne runs for his life. Cheyenne, the family bookworm, is stunned that she's doing all this for him. Mary doesn't mind. She's naturally good at fighting, even if she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. She tells Cheyenne not to stress about it. A little later, Mary is training by the lake when her friend Rose shows up. Rose asks how she doesn't get bored of all the constant training. Mary tells her to stop whining and spar with her instead. Rose, exhausted from helping her grandpa all day, says no. She also asks why Mary doesn't spar with Cheyenne. Mary explains that her brother is too busy, locked up in the house, buried in books as always. Mary reflects on how Cheyenne hasn't said the word magic since that day their dad crushed his dreams. Still, she's convinced all his obsessive studying is his way of searching for answers. While Mary is with her friend Rose, they notice a strange glow that leaves them both stunned. Later, Mary drags Cheyenne to the lake, claiming she's got something amazing to show him. Cheyenne, ever the rule follower, reminds her they're not supposed to wander too far. Mary brushes him off, promising it's safe and monster-free. She knows their mom will be furious, but she's certain it'll be worth the trouble. When they arrive, the glow appears again, and Cheyenne is blown away by the sight of glowing orbs floating near the water. Mary had shown the orbs to their parents before, but they couldn't see them. Cheyenne wonders if adults just can't see them, but Mary explains that even some kids couldn't. Everyone seems to see the orbs differently, and Mary, brilliant as ever, thinks it must be connected to magic. Cheyenne is stunned. She remembers the word, but Mary smugly reminds him she never forgets anything about her little brother. Cheyenne gets emotional, thanking her for showing him the orbs. Mary jokes that the lights must have cured his depression, and they enjoy the moment together. The next morning, their parents are baffled by how quickly the kids inhale their breakfast before dashing off to the lake again. Cheyenne's lack of athletic ability is immediately obvious as he struggles to breathe after their little jog. Once there, his inner nerd kicks in. He wants to investigate the orbs scientifically. He devises a plan to fill 3 buckets, one with sand and rocks, one with water plants, and one with fish. Mary, with her usual enthusiasm but zero understanding, agrees to help. They manage to fill the first 2 buckets but struggle to catch fish. Cheyenne doesn't mind, he's just happy to spend time with Mary. Mary, in her usual big sister fashion, says it's normal for siblings to be this close. Deep down though, she's just as excited as he is. She really wants to know if magic exists. Eventually they catch a fish, but Cheyenne is disappointed to find it's just a common male trout. Isabel says that the trout may be magical at first. At this moment, Rose shows up and Mary introduces her brother. Rose introduces herself dramatically, but Mary quickly tells Cheyenne not to be fooled. Rose isn't as fancy as she pretends to be. The 3 of them discuss the orbs, but despite their efforts, the buckets don't produce any orbs, leading Cheyenne to conclude that the orbs must be coming from a living creature in the lake. Determined to find the source, Cheyenne decides to wade into the water. Mary, ever protective, joins him. Cheyenne touches one of the orbs, finding it warm and harmless. The water is too murky to see much, but he's certain the orbs are coming from something alive that moves around. Later, Cheyenne thanks Mary for helping him. She tells him he doesn't need to thank family so much, but he insists, and she lets it slide. Just then, Rose arrives, holding a female trout. She explains that male trout are common, but females stay deep underwater. They put the female trout in the bucket with the male, and suddenly, orbs start appearing. Cheyenne realizes the orbs are part of a mating ritual. Rose explains that it's like the fish are getting married to start a family. Mary, being Mary, thinks it's just like how she and Cheyenne are family. Cheyenne quickly corrects her, putting an end to that weird comparison. The next day, Mary casually mentions getting scolded by their mom for saying she wanted to marry Cheyenne. She admits she's scared they won't always be together, but Cheyenne reassures her they will. He promises to do whatever it takes, and Mary gets teary-eyed. Then, something wild happens. Cheyenne starts glowing. He realizes it might be magical energy and figures the orbs must have imprinted something inside him. Mary, embarrassed and confused, wonders what it all means. Cheyenne, on the other hand, is laser-focused. He declares that magic might not exist yet, but that's only because it hasn't been invented. He's ready to change that. In a shocking twist, we learn Cheyenne was reincarnated into this world. Fueled by his glowing discovery, he vows to create magic and make it a reality. And that's it for now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more wild recaps. The story kicks off with Liam opening his eyes at a grand dinner party, unsure of how he ended up there. As Liam looks around, confused, he spots a mirror and realizes he's now in the body of a child. Shocked by this discovery, he screams, drawing the attention of the adults around him. His father, the head of the Hamilton family, feels humiliated by Liam's childish behavior. He sternly reminds Liam that even though he's the 5th son and considered the least important, he's still a member of the Hamilton family and must act like a noble. Liam stays silent, unable to comprehend who these people are or what's happening. A maid nearby assumes Liam is upset because of the scolding and tries to cheer him up. She explains that Liam's father, the Count of Hamilton, is in a good mood because he recently had a daughter after only having sons. The party is being held to celebrate her birthday. Thinking it's all just a weird dream, he goes to sleep, hoping to wake up back in his old life. However, he wakes up the next morning still in the child's body. Accepting that this is his new reality, Liam dons the attire of a young noble and steps out onto the balcony to take in the Hamilton estate. He is amazed to see the vast lands surrounding the house, which the maid proudly tells him belonged to the Hamilton family. As Liam tries to process his situation, his older brother Bruno calls him for a discussion about their newborn sister. Bruno, the 4th son of the family, is just a year older than Liam but acts far more mature. He has already decided that their sister must grow up to be beautiful and marry into the royal family. He believes this is the only way to secure the Hamilton family's future. Bruno explains that the Hamilton family is on the verge of losing its noble status. For 3 generations, the family has failed to achieve anything significant. Their father, the current head, is the 3rd generation leader, and when he retires, someone from the 4th generation will take over. Bruno is convinced they won't accomplish anything by then, so the family's survival depends on their sister's marriage to royalty. He advises Liam to start thinking about their family's future as well. Their conversation is interrupted when their tutor arrives to teach them the basics of magic. Hearing that he'll be learning magic, Liam can't contain his excitement and jumps from his seat, surprising Bruno. Bruno warns Liam not to get his hopes up too high, explaining that only 1 in 100 people have the natural talent for magic. Still, Liam is thrilled, as he never had the chance to learn magic in his previous life as a commoner. Determined to master magic, Liam pays close attention to the tutor. After class, he rushes to a maid and asks to be taken to the library. Once there, he starts searching for books on magic. Picking up a book titled Novice Fire Magic, Liam carefully follows the instructions to cast a spell. To his amazement, he successfully creates a small flame on his index finger. Liam's maid is amazed when he successfully casts a fire spell and congratulates him on his talent. Excited to learn more, Liam approaches his father, the Count, and requests access to grimoires, books of advanced magic from the library. Preoccupied with work and uninterested in his 5th son, the Count dismissively grants Liam permission to study whatever he wants outside the library. Wasting no time, Liam dives into his studies, gathering books and practicing magic. Within a month, he masters a new fire spell called Flame Cutter, even without using a grimoire. Proud of his progress, Liam demonstrates his achievement to his older brother Bruno, who is stunned that Liam learned such a spell on his own in just 1 month. Motivated to keep up, Bruno tries to find shortcuts in his own grimoire, but quickly realizes that Liam has an exceptional natural talent for magic. He advises Liam to continue honing his skills, suggesting that his abilities could bring fame and status to their family. However, Bruno worries Liam might overshadow the rest of the Hamiltons and asks if his goal is to become the next head of the family. Liam reassures him, explaining that he's only studying magic as a hobby and has no desire to compete for leadership. With his novice fire spells mastered, Liam sets his sights on learning novice ice spells. News of his progress reaches his father, who finally shows some interest in him. Skeptical, the Count asks Liam to demonstrate his magic. Liam freezes a book with ice magic, but his father is unimpressed, thinking it's too basic. To prove himself, Liam reveals that he mastered all novice fire spells in just 1 month. Hearing this, the Count's attitude shifts. He bursts into laughter, declaring that their family has finally been blessed. Encouraged, he tells Liam to keep learning and offers him access to more grimoires if needed. For the first time, Liam feels supported by his father, which motivates him to improve further. Later, as Liam prepares to practice magic in the woods, the Count is informed of troubling news by a butler. Unaware of the situation, Liam heads to the forest and encounters a mysterious man in a white coat sitting under a tree. The man asks if Liam is one of the Hamilton sons. When Liam confirms, the man cryptically tells him to capture him, then dismisses it and changes the subject to magic. Intrigued by Liam's interest in novice magic, the man offers to teach him a more efficient method. He demonstrates by casting 5 spells at once, impressing Liam, who eagerly asks for lessons. Pleased by Liam's humility and lack of noble arrogance, the man agrees to teach him. The man shows Liam how to cast magic circles with both hands simultaneously. Liam quickly picks up the technique and progresses to attempting 3 magic circles at once. But he struggles to execute the spell due to insufficient magical power. Despite this, the man is highly impressed by Liam's talent. Then the man reveals that he can cast up to 16 spells at once. Regretting that he doesn't have more time to teach Liam, he gifts him a special ring. The ring, called a Magicpedia, is a magical artifact containing the knowledge of hundreds of grimoires, giving Liam access to a treasure trove of magical techniques. As Liam slips the mysterious ring onto his finger, a flood of magical spells flows into his mind, allowing him to learn and use them at will. He quickly masters a wind attack spell. However, just as he begins to grasp the ring's potential, the mysterious man disappears. Moments later, Liam's maid finds him and warns him about a suspicious intruder on the estate. She hands Liam a book on novice summoning magic from Mr. Hamilton, then heads back inside. To Liam's surprise, the man reappears, revealing he had merely hidden from the maid. The man explains he doesn't have much time left but wants to teach Liam one last spell. He asks Liam to pick a summoning spell from the book, and Liam selects a spell to summon a salamander, a low-level fire spirit. Following the man's guidance and using the ring, Liam successfully summons the salamander, but it's immediately absorbed into the ring. The man explains that the ring functions like an infinite grimoire, storing spells and techniques for future use. Understanding its value, Liam offers to return the ring, but the man brushes it off as nothing special, saying it merely saves the hassle of carrying heavy books. Liam continues experimenting with the summoning spells in the book, mastering them quickly. When he turns to thank the man, he finds him gone, leaving only a message on the ground. "Keep studying magic, and don't tell anyone about our meeting." Though their time together was brief, Liam considers the man his master and feels grateful for his teachings. A month passes and Liam combines his fire and summoning magic to create a functional furnace. Using this, he produces white charcoal and even manages to craft LaCroix crystals, which restore magical power. When Bruno visits and sees Liam's progress, including a bag full of LaCroix crystals, he is stunned by his younger brother's talent. Liam explains that he made the crystals by using 5 types of magic at once, showcasing his impressive skills. Bruno, proud but concerned, advises Liam to think about independence. He shares a piece of family history. Their father had sent a large force to fight a sealed monster in a distant land, hoping to save the family. The mission ended in a crushing defeat, leaving only a handful of survivors. Bruno believes their father and eldest brother Albervet will stop at nothing to retain their noble status, even dragging Liam into their schemes. To avoid this, Bruno encourages Liam to seek independence, starting with earning his own money. Liam sells his white charcoal for a pouch of gold coins and treats himself to a bowl of ramen. Inspired by the meal, he decides to introduce ramen culture to the Hamilton household. Using an ice spirit, he dehydrates noodles to create instant ramen and teaches the family chef how to prepare it. Seeing its potential, Liam plans to turn instant ramen into a business. He pitches his idea to a local trader, but the trader refuses, explaining that only the family's eldest son, Albrevet, has the authority to conduct business. Frustrated, Liam leaves the shop, only to discover that Albrevet had been watching him from the shadows. Jealous of Liam's growing skills, Albrevet declares he will no longer allow his younger brother to act freely. Undeterred, Liam returns home and uses a spell from the ring to create a dimensional storage system for his goods. Determined to continue his work in secret, he uses an unconventional summoning spell to create a clone of himself. This duplicate will stay at the Hamilton mansion to keep up appearances while Liam ventures to the far lands to sell his goods and chase his ambitions. Liam arrives at the Hunters Guild on the advice of his eldest brother, Albrevet. As he steps inside, he notices the guild is just as lively and rough as he had heard. The hunters give him curious, mocking glances, wondering what a kid like him is doing there. Ignoring their comments, Liam confidently approaches a fierce-looking man, guessing he's the guildmaster. When Liam asks, the man confirms his identity and says Albrevet had informed him of Liam's visit. Before proceeding, the guildmaster decides to test Liam's abilities, to place him in the appropriate rank. He asks Liam to cast an attack spell and even allows him to recite it slowly, assuming Liam is a beginner. Determined to prove himself, Liam doesn't hold back. He fires multiple magic blasts around the guildmaster's head with pinpoint accuracy, leaving the man in shock. The other hunters, watching in disbelief, are stunned by Liam's raw power. The guildmaster, though impressed, keeps his composure and places Liam in the B rank. As Liam leads the guild, he examines his B rank tag, wondering if it's good enough. While lost in thought, a cheerful girl named Asuna approaches him. Introducing herself, she suggests forming a party since hunting alone is dangerous. Flattered by her beauty, Liam quickly agrees. They shake hands to seal their partnership and set off together. While walking, Liam notices they didn't accept any hunting jobs from the guild. Asuna explains that only A-rank hunters and above can take official assignments. B-rank hunters like them must find monsters independently and bring their remains back to the guild for rewards. Before they can discuss further, a pack of monstrous werewolves ambushes them. With no escape, Asuna panics, but regains her courage when Liam uses magic to overwhelm the wolves by summoning self-growing magical objects into their mouths. The distraction leaves the wolves vulnerable, and Asuna delivers the finishing blows. After defeating 42 werewolves, they return to the guild, shocking the hunters and guildmaster with their accomplishment. The guildmaster is so impressed he offers them their first official mission, to hunt down a giant caterpillar monster threatening an important visitor's arrival. Excited about their first job, Asuna celebrates. But Liam is more concerned about the magical stones inside monsters that make them tougher to fight. When they face the caterpillar monster, they struggle to defeat it, exhausting themselves. Liam uses every spell he knows, but nothing works. Frustrated, he feels powerless, while Asuna grows disappointed that their first mission isn't going as planned. In the heat of the moment, Asuna jokes that it would take a meteor to kill the monster. Inspired, Liam devises a plan. He uses Asuna as bait to lure the caterpillar to an empty area, then summons a massive boulder from his item box to crush the creature. The strategy works, and they take down not just one, but 2 caterpillar monsters. When they return to the guild, carrying the defeated monsters, everyone is stunned. The guildmaster is amazed by their efficiency, while other hunters are left questioning their own skills. Asuna seizes the moment to negotiate a higher reward, arguing that their quick work saved the town from disaster. Impressed by her reasoning, the guildmaster agrees to pay 5 times the original reward, leaving Asuna thrilled while Liam remains indifferent. Later that day, the important visitor arrives. While the townsfolk greet him, Liam's eldest brother, Albrevet, approaches to commend Liam on his success. Albrevet encourages him to keep up the good work before leaving. Watching him go, Asuna assumes Albrevet is probably rude, and Liam agrees, noting that his brother has always treated him as a nuisance. As the visitor passes through the crowd, his gaze falls on Liam. Liam meets the important guest, who introduces himself as James Stanley. When Liam introduces himself, James immediately recognizes the name and mentions that he knows Liam's father. However, his attention quickly shifts to the ring Liam is wearing, asking how Liam got it, since it belongs to someone he knows. James jokingly accuses Liam of stealing it, but when Liam explains that Raymond was his teacher, James calms down. Intrigued, James begins asking about Liam's time training under Raymond, finding the stories amusing. Curious about Liam's strength, James arranges a test. He calls over his acquaintance Simon and asks Liam to use his best attack spell against him. For the first time, Liam decides to recite an incantation, remembering that it can make spells more effective. Using the names of his favorite singers as an incantation, Liam launches magic missiles at Simon. Though Simon initially defends himself with the barrier, Liam's spell breaks through, leaving Simon unconscious. Impressed, James praises Liam's potential and decides to knight him, granting him independence from his family. Later that day, James officially makes Liam a knight. He hopes this title will help Liam step out of his brother's shadow. During their conversation, James asks Liam if he's ever been pranked by Raymond, whom he knows to be a mischievous teacher. Liam recalls a peculiar graduation gift from Raymond, 100 kg of gold dust hidden in a lake, requiring him to perfect his item box skill to retrieve it, and picking up the dust it is robbed. James immediately suspects the gold was a decoy and the real gift might still be hidden. Taking this advice, Liam returns to the lake, uses his item box to drain the water, and discovers a hidden door beneath the dry lake bed. Inside, he finds a letter and a maximum-leveled grimoire, which Raymond reveals is the true graduation gift. Determined to unlock the grimoire's secrets, Liam spends hours practicing the spells inside. After much trial and error, he successfully casts a spell that creates a massive mirror. Stepping through it, he discovers an alternate dimension, a space that grows larger as he becomes more powerful. Unlike an item box, this space can hold living beings, opening up endless possibilities. A month later, Liam and Asuna face a giant frog monster. Liam's fire salamander spells prove useless, and the frog prepares a deadly lightning attack. In a desperate move, Liam uses his alternate dimension to protect himself and Asuna. Once the frog tires out, Asuna finishes it off. They take the magic stone back to the guild, impressing the guildmaster with their teamwork, though he gives most of the credit to Liam. This annoys Asuna, who wishes she could be as strong as Liam. The guildmaster suggests she become Liam's familiar, which would allow her powers to grow alongside his. Excited by the idea, Asuna agrees, even jokingly saying she wouldn't mind if Liam used the bond to boss her around. The guildmaster performs the ritual, and Asuna kisses the back of Liam's hand, sealing the contract. She instantly gains new powers, including incredible speed. Curious about the familiar contract's potential, Liam decides to test it on someone else. Asuna introduces him to Jody, who also becomes a familiar and gains healing abilities through cooking. Days later, James invites Liam to his mansion and informs him that Princess Scarlet is coming to town. He reveals that Liam's achievements have caught the princess's attention and she wishes to see his familiars demonstrate their abilities. Liam, however, refuses, saying it would be disrespectful to treat his friends as objects of spectacle. Unbeknownst to Liam, the princess has been disguised as a maid and overhears everything. She is confident that Liam wouldn't dare refuse her in person. If you've enjoyed this recap, let us know your thoughts on Liam's incredible journey and powers in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode.